Hey friends, I am super excited because today is Dollar Tree Book Review Day. If you haven't seen any of these videos, I do have them on my feed with a similar thumbnail, and they are Dollar Tree book reviews, and typically there's 5 in the review. I keep the thumbnails pretty similar so you can identify the series, but each video has the book covers on the thumbnail so you can know what you're looking at. I'm really big on enjoying your hobbies on a small budget because I am also a full-on maximalist, so there is no limit to what I want to have, but I don't want to break the bank doing it because I don't want to feel guilty while I'm indulging in it. We're looking at 5 books today. Dark Things I Adore by Katie Latari, Truth of the Divine by Lindsay Ellis, Daphne by Josh Malerman, The Woman on the Ledge by Ruth Mancini, and The Secret Next Door by Rebecca Taylor. Now I'm going to try to make this within 10-ish minutes, so I'm not going to give you any in-depth information. I'm going to try to generalize so I don't give you any spoilers as well, which is kind of hard though because I'm a talker. And we're just going to start off with this top book, The Secret Next Door. So in this, we're following a family that moves to a new neighborhood. The mother wants to get in and know all of the parents and make friends with all of the new people. The husband is very standoffish and she doesn't understand why or what's going on. Then they have children in school. There's a young boy who is having behavioral issues. So all of this is unraveling while she's trying to make a normal life. She just wants everybody to be happy and she wants everybody to come together. And it seems like the better life they have, the worse all of their relationships are getting. And then she wants to branch out and just have friends. So of course that comes with going to different events and occasions, but that's hard to do when your spouse doesn't want to participate. You got problems going on at school because your kid is behaving out of control, but you're not the only one with problems, okay? Even the ones that look like they got it going on also have problems, and that's what we start to get into. Everything begins to unravel, people's relationships begin to kind of be put out in the open, and there's a death. And this death creates a lot of chaos and a lot of rumors and a lot of mess between all of the people. As this is happening, you start to see how people behave in front of your face and behind your back. Very modern day drama, okay? The whole thing is that you get to learn that your family is not the only effed up situation out there, that everybody's life isn't as perfect as it looks. But at the same time, I don't feel like we should thrive off of that in real life, but thriving off of the drama in a book, absolutely. Real life, I'm like, sorry friend, I really hate that that's happening for you, and what can we do to make it better? But in a book, I'm like, yeah, fuck her. We're following that kind of dynamic, but also with the murder that happens in this story, you do some digging and some people got to eat crow. And we just start to see how relationships can twist and bend when there's loss also, okay? So I do recommend this book. This was a great book, very modern day kind of mystery and drama situation. Next, we have The Woman on the Ledge by Ruth Mancini. I like this book. This book is good. We're following a young girl that meets another young girl on a rooftop. She's about to jump. And so she kind of talks her off the ledge and is like, hey, if you need a friend, I got you. Call me anytime. But then she's like, why did I do that? Because now I got to deal with this girl's drama. It turns out that the girl just jumps anyway on another day. But then instead of being the helpful friend that talked her off the ledge, she is now involved. And now we have to unravel how this happened. How did it look like it was her who did it? Who actually did it? How did this timeline unfold this way whenever that's not even what they were there for? Just crazy chaos with a good little twist. So I would say yes to this book. Highly recommend. Read it. Daphne by Josh Malerman. So this is the author of Bird Box. Loved that movie. I was a person who was like, I am not going to be participating in the Bird Box purge because the first place I'm running, which nobody ever does in a movie that's got creepy energies trying to take you out, nobody says, hey, big brother Jesus, like help me out of this. Take it out my house, take it out my spirit, take it out my mind, take it out my everything, because we ain't doing that around here. You're not going to eliminate me with my own fears. No. I'm a big believer in processing what thoughts happen in your brain and getting through that to build a stronger spirit in yourself. So books like this, they thrive off of mental energy. They thrive off of fear. thrive off of communication and fearfulness in a community, and what that does to the energy around you. It almost lost me in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, because we're following a young basketball girls team. I'm not a huge fan of basketball, so all of the basketball talk and references and game stuff, it was like, if we don't get through this pretty quick, I'm not sticking around. But then we got past it, and then we started digging deep into why people were dying, or the people that were dying, or how the people died. We started digging into all the deaths and how this kind of dark tale was a dark cloud over the whole town, and how the people as a whole all committed to never addressing a person who did some horrible things in the community in a past life. Okay. So all of that energy is just hanging over this town. So when people start to die, they start to connect the dots to this previous situation. This detective is trying to go around and figure out how these girls are dying. It seems impossible. They have these crazy stories. They have police watching everybody, and people are still dying. And as we go through the story, we're unraveling more of the history of the person who was doing horrible things in the past and how that ties to the current time, and basically how to fight through that in real life and energetically. So it actually was a really good book. It's not too long of a read. If you can get past through the first bits of the sports and the basketball and the young, stuff, start making it into the bones of the story, and it's actually really good. So I do suggest you try out Daphne. Next, we have The Truth of the Divine by Lindsay Ellis. I did not like this book, and I'll just summarize it really quick. So in this book, we are following a communication specialist who's communicating between the government and an alien. There's a good alien, there's a bad alien, there's bad guys, or who they interpret to be bad guys in the story. This girl has been traumatized by the bad alien, has anxiety, panic attacks, horrible feelings to where she just cannot function. The alien is researching her, so they are connected. As the alien is connected to her and he feels what she feels, he starts to comfort her in these moments where she's having these huge panic attacks and just like numbing, anxiety-driven crash outs. But she starts to develop feelings for him because since he makes her feel so comfortable, she starts to fall in love with him. And he's only doing it for self-preservation, and it ain't got nothing to do with you. And on top of that, you have the bad alien that's in the background, and everybody's causing drama. While they are fighting for their personal situations and reasons for doing what they do, you also have the political aspect of the people, and they are throwing rallies and riots about the government not being transparent about the existence of aliens, and if they were, how would they ensure that they had that they have their freedom to be in this country and they have their civil rights and all of these different things. And then you have the other side that's fighting, and it's like they're not going to follow our rules if they're stronger than us, or they're going to manipulate the system because they can. And then you have the ones that are like, well, people do that too. And so there's just this huge political craziness happening. And then there's a climactic moment where I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. And I thought everything was going to take a turn for the better. I was like, okay, that's like halfway in the book. I was like, okay, things will start to turn, right? Everything's going to start to turn. Characters are going to start to, toughen up and fight through these different scenarios. And it never happened. There's a weak lead female in this story, and I just couldn't do it. I feel like when there's a weak lead female character, it's kind of frustrating because I don't expect you to be savior of the universe, but I do expect you to take your trauma, get a hold of it, and use it to get you to the other side stronger. That doesn't happen. The only character that I actually liked in this book died. So I didn't like it. It never happened. She never got stronger. She never toughened up. She never dealt with her anxiety and issues on her own, and it just drove me up the wall. So no from me. Next, we have Dark Things I Adore. I did like this book though, because there is a female lead character in this story who took control of all the things and kind of lost her mind, but also did what she had to do. Okay, so we're following a young lady who is in the art industry along with a guy that is big in the art industry. In the beginning, he kind of got on my nerves because he was very arrogant, very just kind of like forceful about who he was and his place and how he can behave and this, that, and the other. Well, him and her wind up taking a trip so that he can evaluate like her art or whatever. But in this trip, you know, there's like a romantic element in here, right? Like he wants something from her. But as they make it to where they're going, he's starting to get triggered by the area they're traveling to, by the way she carries herself, and she kind of unraveling things about him and her purpose. And as they go further to this place, he's really triggered because he knows where they're going. He knows that they're there for a reason, and there's an alternate reason, and there's things happening. And then we're jumping between timelines of the current day and his past and how things were in the past. So we're in both of their minds and learning a lot about both of them and how we've come to this place. Basically, she is a part of his past and his modern day life. And she has stuff that she needs to get done. She got to do what she's got to do. Let's just put it like that. This one, I highly recommend it. There was some really kind of crazy elements in here whenever they were younger, teenagers. They were all kind of problematic and had issues and stuff that they were getting through. So there is a little bit of like weird teenage drama, but it just adds to the story. And I would say, yes, read this one. It's got a good little purpose behind it. It's got a good little twist, a little vengeance in there, kind of dark, and I liked it. Okay, so that is it for these 5 books. I would say that's pretty good. 4 out of 5 were good books to me. Only that one I didn't love, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there will absolutely love it. So I will put that one into my Pongo shop or figure out something else to do with it. That's it for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.